Welcome back to the latest episode of Manifesto Talks, and today I'm joined by a man at the top of his game, the CEO of HiHomes, Mr. Kian Bennani. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Oliver.
I'm very excited. We've got a lot to talk about.
Let's go.
For anyone that is living under a rock and doesn't know you in the world of real estate, give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are.
Okay, so I'm Kian Bennani. I've born and raised in Spain, in Malaga. At the age of 18, I entered real estate. At the age of 20, decided to start HiHomes. And, for the past 12 years, just really enjoyed the ride of building HiHomes and what we do today.
Tell us a little bit about your background. No, I think your mum is English, no? And your father is...
I come from like a very multicultural background. So like my parents are, originally my mum's English from the north of England, from Yorkshire. My father is Spanish Moroccan, so there was a very big sort of community of Spanish people that during the Spanish Civil War went to Morocco. So that was my family side, my dad's side, and so my parents met here, and I was fortunate enough to grow up in a background that was super diverse. Speaking English, Spanish, and then having the advantage of growing up on the Costa del Sol, which is such an international place. Like it's even more international today. But even back then, when we were children, I mean, even yourself, you've been here a long time. I think we're so fortunate to live in such a international community, and that's really defined a big part of who I am, that multicultural background, right?
I would say it shapes you as such.
Totally.
I think a big thing for me was always having such an array of nationality of friends. No? You could go one evening and they might be Eastern European, the next they're British, then they're Spanish, and you're eating with the family. Sometimes you're not eating with the family because they don't eat together.
That's quite unique also to Costa del Sol, because like if you go to other places of, other places of Southern Europe, like all the coastlines, south of France, south of Italy, wherever it is that, you have big expat communities, like what you have here is the variety of nationalities. And that's something quite unique. Like you said, like I went to an English school. In that English school, you had all kinds of nationalities, right? And you hanged out with loads of people, and that's really fun.
I think something that I've found is almost a difficulty with my own identity. So sound very British, as do you. And then I go to the UK, but I almost feel Spanish. And I think it's something me and my brother have always struggled a little bit. Has that ever been the case of,
totally.
I do fit in, but...
I totally feel like identified in that. Like people ask me, people, will, hear me on our YouTube channel or wherever, and people come to me and say, "Oh, you're a Brit that lives in Spain, right?" And it's like, "Well, no, I'm Spanish." It's like, "Well, how are you Spanish and speak, with a British accent? Where do you feel like you're from, right?" And I find that really hard because, like, by definition, yeah, I'm Spanish, right? But if you ask me, Kian, are you Spanish? It's like, well, I feel a bit Spanish, but I don't feel 100% Spanish. Like, do you feel British? It's like, I feel a bit British, but I don't feel 100%. So I feel like I'm a citizen of the world, right? And I think a lot of people that live here, like yourself, feel identified with that, right?
Yeah. So you mentioned starting in real estate at 18.
Yeah.
But there was a big jump from 18 to 19 was where it took you from, let's say, run-of-the-mill real estate to an opportunity to go into that luxury level, no?
Yeah.
It must have been a huge step up.
It was massive. So I wasn't planning to, be in real estate at all, right? That was not the plan. So in my teenage years, I had my focus on, traveling to the UK and studying medicine. Life took a turn because of a financial situation with my parents and so on. So when I was 18, I decided to jump into real estate, and I jumped into real estate sort of as a temporary leap, right? It was like, I'm just gonna do this for a small period of time. So I jumped into residential rentals, okay? Yeah. I had a very small office at the back of a community, and it was quite clever because everyone that come in to pay the community bills would have to pass in front of my desk. So I would then, offer my service. Oh, you wanna rent, you wanna buy, whatever. So I did that for about a year and a half. I did really well. I started selling some properties, and I got the opportunity after a year. I looked a lot older than my age at 18, right? So, by the end of that year one, I got, contacted by someone that said, "You know what? You really have great energy, and I think you'd do great in the right environment. Would you be interested in working in like this frontline office as a junior agent?" Right? So it's like, me? In an office like in Porto Banús, like this is a 200 square meter frontline office, right? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So I sort of left everything behind and I jumped on the opportunity, at like, 19 years old, 18 and a half, 19 more or less. And I just sort of jumped into it. And at that time, this whole world opened up to me because up until that moment, I just knew Calahonda, Sitio de Calahonda, Mijas Costa, right? And I just did a few rentals, a few sales. And all of a sudden, like I was exposed to, the high-end real estate market in Marbella. I learned about Benavís, I learned about Estepona. And that's when I really sort of learned with this agency that there was a massive opportunity to help buyers navigate the real estate market. And that's what they did. So, fast forward, 12 months, I was one of their top sales agents, right?
Wow.
Every single colleague of mine in that business at that time was like, in their 40s. And I was like the kid on the block. Luckily, I looked older, right? Which is an advantage back then. It's not an advantage anymore.
There was a story where you'd have, is it 19 years of experience or something like that? Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I used to do. So, on my business, when I used to be with clients and on my first business cards, I used to, not shy away from my age.
Yeah.
I used to sort of make a joke about it. So when colleagues used to say, I have 20 years experience in real estate, my twist on it is I don't have 20 years experience in real estate, but I've got 20 years experience on the Costa, at that time, 20 years experience with Costa del Sol, right? So it was a really good sort of twist and buyers found it funny.
But I just think...
leading with who you are, right?
Well, and you cannot buy that experience. And, when I think looking at we were talking about it before actually, and let's say the landscape of the heavy hitting real estate, which have always been the big boys, they are international business people that have then moved here, let's say the founding fathers as such. But now you're starting to see people that have actually grown up on the coast.
I really like what you said. I completely 100% agree. And it's nice. Like it's not only with our company, there's many other companies that, are homegrown entrepreneurs, right? Even yourself, I consider that, with yourself, like homegrown people that have grown in the Costa del Sol, that know the coast, in and out, and they've founded businesses which, work here instead of, I've got nothing against these,
not bringing
people.
A brand from outside.
Exactly, exactly. I've got nothing against people that come and set up business, but it's very different to have grown up here to come and live here in your mid-30s and then setting up a business. Nothing against those people, but it's just a bit different.
We find that as well. Where you do have the British accent, or we have the offices in the UK and Gibraltar, I try and really say, look, we are a Marbella brand.
Yeah.
So we are a Costa del Sol born and bred, and we are actually hugely proud that we've kind of outgrown it as such, and we've had the opportunity to expand on the global stage. But I'm a big believer in kind of us also getting involved in that Marbella 2.0 as such, because it's something. It's becoming less, but it's quite unique having a Marbella-born brand or a Costa del Sol-born brand. Talking of a born brand, HiHomes. How quickly was that straight from that Portuguese agency?
Pretty much, we decided, my wife and I, decided that it was time to, there's a massive opportunity, and I just thought that, what they were doing at that agency was just not really what the market needed. So we decided to, jump in and start HiHomes. And people will normally start a real estate company or a company generally with a business plan. We didn't really have a business plan. We just jumped and started, build the plane as you go. And HiHomes of today is very different to the HiHomes of 12 years, 13 years ago. It's like, I used to watch Pokemon when I was a little kid, and I feel like HiHomes has different versions of Pokemon. You have Pokemon the small one, then the mid-level. Now I feel like we're in another...
Shiny.
We're in a different Pokemon evolution stage of HiHomes, which is really cool. It comes from a very different background, very different services. Our business used to be helping vendors, right? At the beginning of HiHomes, vendors and buyers. And now, we have a sort of full wraparound service helping buyers, sellers, property owners, a bit of everything. So it's really fun.
In those early years, were there any little wins that you can think of? For example, in our new office, as you are the first guest here,
privileged.
I remember putting up the plaque outside and just thinking, that's a proud moment. Or as simple as finally putting the things in the shelves and you go, these are the little things. You've got the bigger picture, the finances, the etc. But are there anything you look back and go, wow, just getting a desk or things like that?
For us, opening our first office in Tola was massive. It was a lovely office. It was very close to where I lived at the time, and putting the HiHomes signage up and walking into it was only maybe 40 square meters. 30, it was a very small place, but that was a real wow moment. Wow, this is something that's real now. It's not just us working in a spare bedroom, which actually started. It's us having an office. And then we've had different milestones, the different milestones, different moments. Of wow moments. Our current office. And it's, right now, at this moment in the business, our milestones are more of sort of, media achievements, sales achievements, team achievements, culture achievements. And I think as the business grows, those wow moments sort of change with the times,
Your role now
Yeah.
would be massively different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How is it different now from what let's say the amount of content that I watch of yours, etc., and consume? You don't actually really do the sales anymore, or you don't do the tours with the clients. Now it is that management from above. Now I'm really building the business.
From December 2024, I decided that I was not gonna be on the first lines anymore. And the reason I decided that was because if there's one thing that all of our, something that the sort of natural to the HiHomes, business culture is that we are client obsessed, right? And it's in our vision statement, it's everywhere, and it's part of like really what HiHomes is. We're absolutely client obsessed. So, there's only one outcome, if the client wins, you win. Like that's the only way forward for us at HiHomes. So that client obsession means that you need to be giving the highest level of service. And when I was selling properties, I was that agent that was giving that highest level of service. But growing the business and decided to grow the business, we got very big ambitions for the brand, right? For the real estate brand of HiHomes. It was time to help clients through our rock stars, right? So we refer to our agents as rock stars, right? Rock star team members, and it was a bit of like I still at the moment don't do let's say the work of being with clients on the ground showing properties, but I get to coach every single one of my team members. So and that's something quite unique compared to other companies, other agencies. Like I spend a lot of time with my team members. I know exactly every single client that's on tour, seeing properties, negotiating. Even though I'm not with the client, I know everything that's going on, and that's something which I'm really happy about. Like their communication within our business is really fast, right? And I feel that sometimes with companies generally, like that communication can be lost.
Yeah.
So what we want is, communication to go really fast between every single team member. Everyone's super connected. Everyone's on, sort of tuned in with what's going on. And the same way I'm tuned in with our agents. So yeah, I'm not with clients, but I'm like, I'm coaching our agents and I'm helping our clients through our rock stars. Yeah. And that, funny enough, allows me to help more clients receive the best service. Yeah. So it's really rewarding as well. I do miss being out and about more than I was, but it's really fun as well. And down the line, I will be back seeing properties. Like that's one of my goals in the next like 12 months. But at this moment, the business needs a different attention from me.
How do you deal with not getting involved in everything, or do you just get involved in everything? So let's say me and Oksana suffer from, I don't want to say micromanaging because you put your trust, no, but there is that case of, or we could just get involved with everything. But there's a fine art there of, let's say, I think at some point a CEO or a director, their role is actually to find the right people for the right job and then actually let them do that.
That's exactly what we do. And that's exactly how, how HiHomes is run. Like it's not only me, right? That's really important. It's like, there's three of us, right? So it's myself, it's Matt Campbell, which is my business partner, and then it's Lara, right? Like the attention to detail that goes into everything that happens in HiHomes, right? From the top to the bottom. We make sure that we hire for talent. Yeah. We hire for talent, and then we make sure that the business culture is unique. So when we hire for talent means that when we're out filling a role, we want someone, first of all, we want someone that has what we call rock star energy. Right, so someone that fills or ticks the different boxes. Someone that obviously a good person, someone that's hardworking. But apart from that, a person that has the right sort of values and guidance in life, right? Not guidance, but the right values in life, right? And then after that comes, what are you able to do and what's your experience, right? And in that facet, we look for people which are extremely well prepared, like extremely well prepared. People that know what they're doing, right? So you need to have that rockstar energy. You need to also have like the right,
I think
background in any role.
I think something you said was attitude is more important than experience.
100%.
And I couldn't agree more. It gets to a certain stage in certain, let's say,
technical.
Technical things. Yeah. There's a certain level of it, and experience comes sometimes with confidence you can give to clients. But attitude, I would say, makes up 70-80% because people can learn.
I totally agree. People can learn, and like we've had people join. The thing is, right? when we're out hiring, we're super selective about the people we bring on board. Like really, like I think we're the most selective. I think the Costa del Sol or southern Spain really has, right? We will have people sit down, for example, in the role of finding a rockstar buyer agent, right? We'll have people sit down in the chair in the interview, and they're people that I know have, you know, hundreds of sales under their belt. They know how to sell, but I know that their attitude and their, you know, personality can be a bit toxic for our environment. So we don't want to put a rotten apple within our apples. Like we're really cautious with who we decide to bring in, because we want to protect the energy of the business at all costs, right? And that's something, right? So in the case of people that have attitude rather than experience, I think that sometimes you have a click, and you know, Matt and I and Lara, you know, when we have conversations with people that are sitting in front of us, you know, when we're interviewing for any sort of role, like sometimes we just have this gut feeling, and it's like, okay, this person doesn't have the right experience, but this person ticks every other box, and I believe in that person, and that's where, you know, you sort of let your gut drive. You know,
have you ever got it wrong?
In the past, yes. Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I think, you know, sort of learn fast by making mistakes, you know, around, you know, in the last years. Recently, a lot less.
Yeah.
You know, but that comes with
processes, or does that come from, it comes with experience, I guess.
It comes with experience, but it comes to know what you're looking for and knowing what you're like. This is a bit, this might sound crazy, but we ask all the questions when we're hiring, right? So, and again, we don't hire all the time. We hire really specifically for certain roles, and then, you know, we hire properly. So when we're hiring people, normally it's conducted by Matt and I, and we have asked questions which are a bit out of the ordinary. We want to get to know who that person is. So things like, you know, do you work out? Yeah. Right? Sounds a bit like, it's not vanity. It's like, you know, do you work out? Why? Because are you able to delay gratification? Yeah. Right? Do you, you know, on a Friday evening, what do you do? Right, like, you know, because Spain and Costa del Sol is notorious. I mean, you've grown up in the same notorious with party scene. Like, 100%. If you're a party goer, like, you're not for us. Like, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, have a great time, enjoy life, sure. But if you're partying all the time, you're not for us, right? Like, we need people which are really committed, right? And all these questions, you know, like that really get to. It really helps you understand who that person is. Like, what are your financial goals? Like, what are your career growth? Like, if it's someone that's treating this position as a leap between where they are now and where they want to be, no, like we want someone that really wants to grow. And if that person hasn't got, you know, a clear ambition to grow, it might not be for us either. You know?
Yeah, because I don't think people understand that not only the time and, let's say, the money, but the emotional energy that goes into bringing someone on board. Yeah. Like I think, you know, I'd like to say we're similar. We buy into you becoming part of us and our culture and our tapestry, as we like to say. But it's tough, and I get the sense as well. If you really feel like this is a stepping stone, then I think that's hard to invest in them as such.
I mean, when, you know, just for us, is when we find the right person, we go all in. That's our, like, you know, HiHomes way of doing things.
So let's talk content.
Okay.
Before this, you said looking at, it'll be about 130 videos, right? That you'll do either last year or be looking at doing this year. Yeah. It is apparent that it's at the forefront of HiHomes strategy. Can you give us an insight into why, let's say, why was that a reason? Why was that we've seen this and we are going to let, not all eggs in one basket, but why is content creation so important for HiHomes?
You know, there is a thing about, we call it media at HiHomes. Like we refer to as HiHomes media, right? And for many businesses, media and content is a chore, right? Like I need to do it. I have to do it because I need to keep up, right? For us, it's very much the spinal sort of backbone of HiHomes. Like we, you know, we actually, we have these YouTube sessions on Thursdays where we spend hours going creatively into what we're going to be producing, right? And you know, we have an internal joke in these YouTube sessions that we're not a real estate agency. We're a media company that happens to sell real estate, right? And that's something that's very true to us at HiHomes. Like we're media first in all facets, right? We're media first where media is so important for us that we also want to dominate in that space, right? And media is going to allow us to elevate the brand to where we want it to go. Like we've got very big goals for HiHomes in the next 10 years. One of those goals is to become a global real estate brand, you know, and our focus is dead on, like straight on, right? To become a global real estate brand, you know, not only in Spain, like, and the brand and the business is sort of crying out for it. And like, I never thought HiHomes was going to grow into what it is today, right? And it's grown sort of naturally, right? And when it's sort of like this organic growth that you don't want to stop it from growing. Like when it asks for growth, you want to give it to it, no? And media has been a big fuel, a big part of it. And like the media itself is asking us to grow. We've got huge ambitions of where we want to be. And at the moment, it's just, putting our time and resources into what media requests from us. And we've got so many cool projects, so many things we want to do, and so many ambitions on the horizon. But yeah, we consider ourselves a media company.
You talked about structure. Yeah. How do you structure it? Is there the end goal and then you work back from there? This is the content we want to do, so now we're going to look at how we bring that to the market in 6 months? So it's quite a big question as such, but
yeah, I mean,
we've got put a whiteboard down and write everything and then work it out? So
we've got to a point now where we have a real solid audience following, and we always ask our audience. Like at the end, it's like serving the audience, right? Yeah. Like it's not what we want; it's what they want.
That's something tough at the start, though, when nobody's, when only your mum and dad are watching it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, it's basically making sure that you're creating relevant content, but also true content. Yeah. We say things unfiltered, the way they are. Yeah. Like I'll give you an example. Last year, one of my least favorite persons in Spain when it comes to like real estate is Pedro Sanchez. Every time he says an announcement, it shakes the market.
So yeah,
but it also creates good content, right? But our view is we're in it for our audience, for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah. So when our lovely Pedro Sanchez jumps on the news outlets and says we're going to be taxing non-residents 100% tax, we go, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because what we want is to be 100% transparent with everyone, right? From our audience to our team members, like transparency is HiHomes. And we say things as they are. We treat our buyers as adults, I want you to know everything I know. And then only then can you make an informed decision,
How do you balance not doing too much of the fun content? Because I think a lot of people doing it fall into that now. They fall into, and you know what? Maybe I would fall foul of, I'd rather sit and do this than do a sit-down video with Paul talking about the importance of GEO in this new modern world. Like, how do you find the balance?
I suppose you just need to find your own balance, depending on your own brand personality, I suppose, Like everyone's different. Like we'll do things that other people don't do, we won't do things other people do, We try to find that balance with what works for us. And I think that's different for everyone.
How do you personally find the time for it?
I make it. I make it. I mean, it's really important that you're committed to the goal. Like we're committed at HiHomes to so many things. Like we're committed to our team. We're committed to to the growth of the business. We're committed to, most importantly, to our clients. I mean, actually, that comes before anything. Like we're committed to our clients, and then in order to give the best of the best, we need to have world-class systems, right? Yeah. And that's maybe it. Like just rewind a bit more. Like first of all, North Star, client obsession, right? Now, how do I deliver the best results or the best service to our clients? Okay, we need to build a world-class sort of systems or ecosystem of systems and media around it to serve them, right? Like I'll tell you what our 10-year plan is. Okay, like this is our 10-year goal. Me, Matt, Laura, we have it like it's like our North Star. Our 10-year plan is that within 10 years, so 2036, we want to be a global real estate brand. A global real estate brand, I was lucky enough in January last year to meet, Mamansky and Serhant in New York. We went to MA Connect, amazing, inspiring connection. And you feel like, my God, like we have the potential. The business is asking for it. We want to grow. So first of all, we want to be a global real estate brand. Second, let's say financial goal is we want to be selling €1 billion of real estate a year. Now, when you say €1 billion in real estate, that just is a number for people. But for us, it's not a number, right? Because if we're selling €1 billion in real estate, that means we've succeeded. Why? Because we've made more money? No. Well, essentially we're businesses, but 1 billion represents 1,000 clients, right? 1,000 clients. So if I'm able to, successfully serve 1,000 clients, in order to do that, I need to have a world-class team, right? I need to have world-class systems. I need to have world-class marketing, world-class tech. and everything in the ecosystem to serve that goal. So yes, of course, the 1 billion is the financial North Star, but it's getting then the journey of building HiHomes from the south of Spain to a global real estate brand that can then deliver there is super exciting journey. So everything we do is like, does it serve the purpose of the brand? So at the moment, yeah, we build a 10-year plan, and then we break it into a 5-year plan, and then we break it into, a manageable 5-year plan. And right now, it's very simple. And everyone in the business knows what the North Goal is. We make a point of it. We sit down with, every single person on the team knows where we're going. There's no surprises, and everyone needs to row in the same way. So HiHomes is like a real complex layer cake, right? People look at HiHomes from the outside and they go, oh yeah, it's that business that has a very successful YouTube channel. It's yeah, that's one layer. The layers are talent, the layers are culture, the layers are hiring strategically, the layers are tech, AI, world-class marketing, and all the other things that come with it, and that makes up HiHomes. It's not just one thing.
Yeah. How do you build a good culture? I think I saw something really, I think I might even post it yesterday. It was something like, good culture is your team not dreading coming to work on a Monday or something like that. And I thought, I love that, because the amount of times people do it, oh my God, I live for the weekend. How do you build culture?
We're real with each other. We're real with every single person. And I love and adore every single team member. We're 25, 26 people now. And different people do different roles in the businesses. But culture is by constantly pushing to make sure that we all are the best versions of ourselves. And it also comes with a culture of transparency, because culture is not just doing fun things. Culture is growing together and going in the right direction. So we have that. And then there's other part of it, which is, really spending time together, quality time together. A way of doing that is doing things like the office. We spend so much time together as teammates. And I'll give you an example. We're there for each other, right? We're there for our clients to win, but then we're there for each other. There's a companion, like you say in English, there's a real companionship between our HiHomes rock stars. If your client wins, you win. That's one of it. But the other thing is you always want to make sure that your colleague succeeds. Yeah. And if your colleague succeeds, then the business succeeds. And that's really in the DNA of every single rock star, right? Then it's being real with each other. Everyone has their own objectives, their own goals. And then we're there for the good and for the bad, right? And then comes everything we do, in terms of team building, but for the good and the bad. So we're real with each other. We're feedback is instant. And then once we get work out the way, we force ourselves to have, events where we bring all the team together, right? We also do team building events twice a year. We do reward trips. We, for example, went to Sierra Nevada with the entire team, a few weeks ago, 20 something people in Marbella hotel, beautiful, And the last thing is that's sometimes, but we also make sure that we always bring the team together every single week. And let me tell you how we do that. We have 2 events which are obligatory in HiHomes, right? On Mondays, we have Monday stand-up. And this is something that actually Matt, my business partner, Matt Campbell, introduced a while back. And it's something that's stuck, and it's really part of our culture. Every Monday at 9:30, every single team member at HiHomes connects, either virtually if you can't make it, because clients come first. Yeah, but if not, standing up, surrounding sort of, our island area. And everyone spends 2 minutes talking about what they have on for the week. Why? Because we all want to be connected. Yeah. So, the person that's selling property can know what after sales is doing. After sales can know what marketing is doing. Marketing, social media knows what YouTube's doing, and so on. So there's all these things together that really make a good culture, aside from the events. The events are really fun, yeah. But that's really how I think we do it at HiHomes.
You've mentioned Lara a few times now. How important is she in all of this, in this journey?
Everything. Lara's my wife, and we've been together, believe it or not, since we're 12 years old.
Crazy.
So our entire life, we were children together. We grew up. There was a period where my wife's a professional surfer. So she's traveled the whole world surfing. She's world-class surfer. And while she was surfing, I was working in this real estate in Portonus. And then she came back and we started HiHomes. She's my right-hand person. Matt, my wife helped me found the business, and then Matt Campbell joined us a few years back, also as a business partner, and I couldn't do it without them. They're just a part of together is what HiHomes is. Maybe I'm the face of it, but all 3 of us together is what HiHomes is really.
Do you ever sit back and take a moment and think, wow, look how far we've come?
I love the journey. I'm in love with our journey. I'm in love with it. So there are moments where I go, wow. if you speak to anyone in HiHomes, anyone, and feel free to to have a chat with any one of our rockstar team members. Like, HiHomes is a super fast moving train, and sometimes I think that you don't even have time to look at what's going on. But like, we're so proud of where it is right now. I think we all are, not only me, like the entire team. Like, we're so proud of where we are with the brand, with the business. But yeah, there's some moments, like something that happens to us, which I think is quite unique, is this week alone, we had 2 clients walk in through front office that were YouTube followers, just wanting to pop their head in and just say hi, because they follow us on the YouTube channel, wanted to say hi to Matt, to me, and also wanted to buy property, and just the reach of the power of HiHomes Media is something which I am absolutely,
it's special.
It's special. Like,
yeah.
we really have, like, I mean, we've hit 3 million, historical views. Our channel currently has, anywhere from 250 to 300,000 views every single month. Every single month, right? And then apart from that, over 10,000 watch hours, right? So real engagement, real audience. That's something. That's one thing I pinch myself and go, my God. Another thing is the team. Another thing is like how many clients I'm able to help. So back to your thing, question earlier is like, do you still help clients? Do you still? No. But by having taken myself away from the front line, I'm able to help even more people with world-class service.
How do you manage work-life balance? Does that exist?
At this moment, it's really intense. Yeah. At this moment, it's really intense. Like, I think, like, we run the business with the idea of, always being, we're all partners. It's like health is number one. So, like, I'm a very, Matt, Lara, we're all very fit people. We're always in the gym running. Like, me and Matt love mountain running. We do crazy stuff. We sign each other up for like crazy races. But we at the moment we have, in my case, I have a bit less time than what I'd like, but it's a transitory moment. It's like, it's a season in HiHomes that requires, like, all my time and attention. And it's just a season. So right now, like, I'm giving it my absolutely everything, because I know that by giving it that, it's going to go to where we want it to go, right? So
I think it's hard because, let's say I work with my hopefully soon-to-be wife, right?
Nice.
It's hard to switch off.
Yeah.
Like, and we have to, I think I've mentioned it a few times, we used to try when we get to this roundabout, that's it. But it doesn't work like that. If you want the success in some sort of way, it will consume you. It's just maybe having that balance of either saying, Oksana or Lara saying, look, tonight maybe is not the night. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe just give me 20 minutes when we get home, let me kind of sit and decompress or such, because I must admit, it's tough to find a work-life balance.
When you run your own business, and I think, like, it's always hard to find a balance, but I think it's seasons, Yeah. Like, when you're running, for example, I'm a big mountain runner. In a race, when you're mountain running, like, there's climbs, and the climb is not forever. There's a moment where it becomes easier again, and then you get some air and you're back into it. But like, there is a level of sacrifice to build something great, And like, in our case, with every single fiber in my body, I know that we're building something that's absolutely unique, and like, I'm happy to give that time, But then, also spending time with the family is super. I've got 2 beautiful little boys, and I also make sure that I, have that special family time. We're all family people at HiHomes as well, So yeah.
I think I've tried to be present in certain moments and understand when this is a moment to be present. So let's say taking the dog for a walk is actually, why don't we just leave our phones at home? Do you know what I mean?
I love that. That's a great.
It's just that little bit of, this is actually a moment here where I need, like, to be here mentally as well.
Yeah, I totally feel you, and it's 100% the same way. Like, sometimes, like, no, this is time to be present. I love that. It's true.
Question I've got is public speaking, right?
Okay.
And I think this will be fascinating for a lot of people that watch and people that, let's say, want to improve it. So let's talk about public speaking and Toastmasters, because this is kind of a bit of a personal journey for you, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've got a very good friend of mine called Mike, and Mike and I, we do a lot of mountain running, right? And he introduced me to public speaking, to Toastmasters, and it was during one of these runs where he said, Kian, you do so much content, so much video. Have you thought of ever, like, joining Toastmasters and improving your public speaking? It's like, one thing is speaking to the camera, another whole different ball game is speaking to a crowd. So I thought, I'll take on that challenge. and it's the best thing I ever did. Like, next week, for example, I'm traveling to the Nordic Real Estate Forum in Tallinn, right? And I'm on stage in front of hundreds of people, and joining Toastmasters was the best thing I did. Like, I think people think that public speaking comes natural to certain people, but public speaking, this media, it's a muscle you train, right? Like if you go on stage and you don't feel like scared, something's wrong with you.
The little tremble in the voice, yeah.
Something's wrong with you. Like, something's wrong with you. Like, you should be, scared. It's, it is what it is,
Is there something that you've learned that you think, do you know what, that's a good tip? I remember my dad always said, like, just hold a water bottle, or just have something in your hands, or use your hands, express yourself a little bit and get into a bit of a rhythm. But is there anything you go, do you know what, that's a good little tip for you there?
My tip for for first-time public speakers is the moment you feel those nerves in your belly, use those nerves to fuel your speech and to fuel your engagement with the audience, rather than letting it hold you back. You know what I mean? I think that's that power. You need to use it, like,
harness it
outwards.
Yeah. Right. We asked some of the followers for a few questions, but we are running out of time, and I want to end on a good one.
Yeah.
So here's two. All right. The first one: 5 things in your daily routine that you wish you could automate.
Communications. And what I mean by communications at the moment, like, the worst nightmare for me is I have dispersed communication, WhatsApp, email, and then SMS and all these things. So and then internal CRM notifications. Like, I'd love to just unify that. Like, so
that it would go into one and you could reply and it would send it.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We right now are we consider ourselves a tech-enabled business.
Yeah.
So, like, every single part of HiHomes is techified. We have our own, in-house, lead management app that we've built, right? We have our own, automation journeys for every single part of it, right? We have in-house GPTs. Like, for example, when someone we have, a few after-sales admin sort of workforce at HiHomes, and when these rock stars do a repetitive task again and again and again, I tell them, like, do not do repetitive tasks. Like, if there's something that you find repetitive, come to me and say, hey, this is wasting my time. Right? Is there any way to, and we automate it, right? So we're super tech enabled that way. Like, we are constantly looking for ways to make sure that our team are spending their time and their talent with people and letting machines do everything else. So back to the original question, that inbox, like, inbox would be the main thing. Everything else is already sort of automated. Like, within HiHomes at least. That would be the one pain.
So next one, is the Costa del Sol at risk of being a victim of its own success? So infrastructure. Let's say from when we grew up.
Yes, it is. 100% yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
they're building new developments in places where you think, hang on, like, there's traffic already. How are you going to put another 500 homes? You know what I mean?
It's not only that, Oliver. It's also like, it's contradicting in every single way. Like, first of all, you have a central government that, pulling in one direction. You have autonomous governments pulling in another direction. I'll give you a quick example. Like, our infrastructure was built, for example, our AP7, our A7 was built for, like, years ago, right? We have, so much more population. You can't even access Porto Venus anymore. The roads are full capacity, right? There's not enough housing. Like, we have a general housing crisis in all of Spain. Like, at the moment, just really quick facts. In Spain, we build around 95,000 properties per year. We need 350,000 to sustain demand. So you've got all these social and also infrastructure issues. And then, right, we have the national government announcing that they're going to be, let's say, ampliando or increasing the size of the Malaga terminals from 80,000 square meter to 100, allowing from the current passenger flow going from 25 million passengers a year to 36 million passengers within 10 years. And where are these guys going to stay? How are they going to transport? Like, it's just so contradicting. So you've got, like, central governments investing in infrastructure that's going to increase the passenger flow to the Costa del Sol. The infrastructures are very poorly dealt with. Electric infrastructures are terrible. Like, that's a serious problem. We talked about it on the channel plenty of times, like, the ugly part. Like, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. Will the infrastructure keep up? It's going to become crowded if they don't do anything. Let's see.
Would you say you're obsessed with the process of growing?
That's a really good question. I am obsessed with the journey you know, and enjoying the journey. Like, it's the goals are the goals, but the building of it, it's really fun. It's really cool. Like, hey, it's very stressful at times, right? Like building anything is it requires, you know, it's stressful, right? It's, you know, it's a beautiful part of the journey. Like, you know, building, it's the most beautiful part. Like, you know, the goal is the result when you hit your targets, when you hit your goals. But I think this is the moment, like dealing with problems that you can solve, right? There was this thing that's going online, which I love. It's a sort of viral reel on Instagram. I think algorithms like tapped into my DNA. They know exactly what I want to hear. And it's, you know, pressure is a privilege.
Oh, I love
You've
this.
seen that one? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And I love that reel. It's so true. Like, yeah, pressure is a privilege. Like, you know, you're constantly taken out of your comfort zone in order to grow. Like, we have big ambitions. So, like, growing a global real estate brand, you know, to the level we wanna grow it to, really requires you to consistently, you know, think outside the box, solve problems in a real creative manner, you know, and all that while you run a business at the same time, you know, with all the business sort of problems and issues that every business owner has. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think I love the journey. I really love the journey, and I couldn't live without it. I couldn't live without it. Like, I'm really proud of where we are right now, and I'm really proud of where we're going. I'm really proud of everyone we have, and I'm proud of everything. I'm just proud of HiHomes.
What's next for you personally?
To keep on growing. Like, the more the business grows, the more it requests from me to be a better, you know, CEO effectively, right? And that's really that, you know, like what's next is continue to build. I'm you know, like everyone at HiHomes is a hardworking, you know, like there's no lazy people at HiHomes. I don't say that like in a strange way. It's like, I had an interview earlier upstairs with someone in the office, and you know, for us, like our business culture is, okay, back to work. Okay, back to work. Okay, back to work. Okay, now we got this. Back. And that's pretty much what we do. Mark's behind the camera has been working with me for like 5 years, and like we are obsessed with reaching our goals, and that comes with working. So what's next for me is to continue working alongside my incredible rock stars. It's really creating the first global real estate brand that's going to emerge from the south of Spain, and enjoy the process in every single step of the way. That's what's next. And of course, above anything else, I would say, enjoy also, you know, the time with the family and these special moments. Like, I'm a young dad, right? And that's another big part of my, you know, my life, because we're just talking about business right now, but I'm a proud dad of 2 beautiful little boys, great wife, and I want to be a very good role model. I want to, you know, I want to build something that has a legacy. I want to build a before and an after in, you know, European global real estate, and at the same time, I want to enjoy the process with the family and all these fun things we do. So that really would be what's next.
Thank you so much for coming. It's an absolute pleasure. I think you are at the top of the game. I absolutely love it. I love the content. It's an absolute pleasure, the work that we do with yourselves in the capacity that we do. I look forward to watching the journey.
Let's do it, man.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks.